Good morning, everybody. My name is Steve Guchin. I'm a holistic health practitioner here in San Diego, California, and I'm pleased to share our products of Celebration with you today. Today, I'm going to be talking about our Aalere bracelet. I have to do some housekeeping first. The statements made in this presentation have not been evaluated by the FDA. Nothing in this presentation should be construed as diagnosing, prescribing, or treating disease. It is presented for education only. We must legally warn you that if you're ill, have any disease, are pregnant or nursing, you should consult your medical doctor before attempting any natural or herbal program. We use frequencies in our bracelet, and these frequencies we imbue into the bracelet are anti-5G, anti-EMF, anti-2G, 3G. So this aberrant electronics that our bodies accept and doesn't like, it really alters our bodies and its body's chemistry. We decided to create a product that also, in addition to that, we have antioxidants, the frequency of antioxidants, like for example, vitamin C, the frequency of the vitamins and minerals in our Aalere bracelet. We have also the frequency, the Schumann frequency, which is the Earth's frequency. You know, when you go on a beach and your feet are in the sand and you're actually dumping all the EMF and RF out of your body into the Mother Earth, and Mother Earth is giving you free electrons. There is actually a frequency that the Mother Earth emanates, and this is when your body's biological cells and molecules are surrounded by this frequency, you are becoming healthy and into a state called homeostasis. So it is very important. Also, we have a super antioxidant boost in our frequencies also. All these combined have started to produce kind of really, really good effects, and I'm really pleased to share this with you. Dr. Oshman talks about this, and how do our frequencies actually work? Our cells in our body are very sensitive to energy fields, and they're like tiny little amplifiers, and they listen to whispers from their environment. Our bodies and cells respond much more to subtle stimuli rather than to violent stimuli. So this involves feather-like, very gentle applications of organized energy with information and frequency encoded information that is appropriate to stimulate cells, to do repair, and to deliver electrons to the site of inflammation. Our usual way is to do battle, like for example, our war on cancer. Well, we lost that war. Why use a sledgehammer when a feather will do, Dr. Oshman says. And this is a cell, for example, guys. So we have these ligands. They're protein molecules that signal our internal nucleus, our internal DNA, okay? So these molecules signal, and they have little receptors, receptor ligands, and they bind on there, create a chemical response, and then this response is sent out to the DNA, and then the DNA goes ahead and creates proteins, signaling molecules, and appropriate responses for what's happening outside in the environment. So your environment around your cells is very, very important. So if your environment and you're consuming sugar cereals, dead food out of boxes that has been denurtured, you know, without any nutrition, any kind of value, and you're living on bread or that kind of diet, well, you're going to create this environment around your cells. It's going to cell signal to your genome, and the genome is going to produce stuff like, for example, inflammatory cytokines. And these cytokines, I'm going to talk a little bit there. The cytokines could be pro-inflammatory. They're little signaling molecule that your cells emanate, and they signal danger in the environment, right? So then you create a certain response there, and I want to get a little bit into it. So we're talking today about 5G and its effect on the biology of our human frame. And we used to have 2G and 3G, and these cell phone towers that we have right now, they emit a certain frequency, a certain bandwidth, okay? And these waves, they come from the towers. By the time they get to us, they're rather dissipated, but yet we can still pick up a signal on our cell phone and everything like that, right? Now, because they want to blanket the entire planet with this 5G signal, it's actually in the microwave band. These cell signals are like 15,000 times more intense than the frequency of like 2G, 15,000 times. And so these signals, whether we're at a football stadium, in our apartment, especially if you're like in a train, please put your phone on airplane mode when you're in a train or elevator, right? Because what happens is the cell signal bounces back and forth against the walls and trying to find where's the tower, where's the tower, oh, there's a tower, oh, I got the tower. The tower says, oh, there's a cell phone. Back and forth, and it starts bouncing around this little box. So you're like sitting in the little microwave oven, okay? So we are bombarded continuously in our life with this. And what happens? Well, this causes a cascade. This causes cell signals into our genome. And what we have, for example, in our products, we have also hydrogen in the bracelet as a frequency. And one of the things hydrogen, it activates the production of glutathione, is the master antioxidant in the body, right? And also activates catalase and superoxide dismutase. That's another antioxidant. The glutathione is the biggest antioxidant we have, and it's used by the liver. The liver uses it for detox purposes, right? So very, very important. Now, here's a study that I picked up. This is from PubMed. It's the world's largest medical, well, it's a medical data and studies, right? And it says evidence of oxidative stress after continuous exposure to Wi-Fi radiation in rat model, right? Well, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically, exposure to electronic radiation is rapidly increasing in everyday environment, consequently conferring potential health effects. This is actually a study. Now, why aren't these, telecom companies reading this information? Oxidative stress is emerging as a mechanism implicated in pathophysiology. That means disease causing stuff in your body, okay? So, to our knowledge, no report has been made on the status of antioxidant redox after continuous exposure to radio frequencies with Wi-Fi, right? So they got these rats and they gave them only 2.45 G. They got these male Weiser rats, 2.45 G. And what we're getting to 5G, remember I said 5G is 15,000 times more powerful, right? And they were bombarded with this Wi-Fi 24 hours a day for 10 consecutive days. So if you guys please have your Wi-Fi, you shut it off at night. Absolutely, right? So in order to assess the change in antioxidant redox system and of the plasma, there's the blood, right? The redox system is a system of signaling. And basically it's ROS, reactive oxygen species, are free radicals in your body. Your body produces these free radicals. This is a study of what they assessed, right? It says Wi-Fi, so after exposure to Wi-Fi, the total antioxidant capacity in the plasma, how much antioxidants you have in your blood, and total thiobarbaric acid, it's T-bars. It's actually a T-bar is an indicator of how much free radical damage you have in your body, right? Concentration of reduced glutathione happened, and also what else was that? Oh yeah, catalase and superoxide dismutase. A reduction in these antioxidants occurred because of this Wi-Fi exposure, 24 hours per day, 10 consecutive weeks, right? Well, we have, cell phones, we have all this stuff, that we have iPads, we have computers, and this is going on. So this is an important study. Let's take a look at one more other study. Now, this is a radio frequency radiated emitted with Wi-Fi causes impaired insulin secretion and increased oxidative stress in rat pancreatic islets. Islets are the cells in your body that produces insulin, right? There's a great concern regarding the possible adverse effect of electromagnetic radiation. This study investigated the effects of EMR, only 2.45 G, on insulin secretion. Okay, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll just go right down to the conclusion. So it says here, EMR emitted from Wi-Fi causes significant increase in lipid peroxidation, that's fat peroxidation, and a significant decrease in glutathione level, SOD. That's also, these data show that EMR of Wi-Fi led to hyperglycemia, increased oxidative stress. That means too much sugar in the blood. Increased oxidative and impaired insulin secretion in the rat pancreatic islets. So, in other words, 5G, 2G, 3G is going to cause impaired insulin secretion, thereby increasing your blood sugar levels in your body. And that causes havoc with your system. We got, and especially, for example, a lot of studies that have been done, like for Alzheimer's and that, a lot of plaque is formed because of glucose being burnt in the brain area, right? So if you have a lot of sugar in your body, you're going to get a lot of onset of these precipitory downstream diseases. What I went ahead, I did a test yesterday, thermal imaging test I did yesterday. The diagnosis of it will happen about 3 days. I'll get a doctor's report, right? But what occurred was I immediately was standing there. I did it on my body. So you stand there and they take shots of your body, and I did 3 different shots, the back, front, and I did 3 different variations. And what occurred immediately, what I seen on the screen, I seen before and after, I says, well, what the heck is that? Because I seen red, like I have some issues with my knees, right? I seen red around my knees. I said, what is that going on? Because it looks like an increase in red around my knees. After I put the bracelet on, I said, I thought this is supposed to help the knees or help in reduction of inflammation, because heat equals inflammation, right? Well, the clinician said to me, she said, this is exactly what happens when you do grounding, and we do this thermal imaging testing on you, right? And what happens is you have an increased blood flow immediately to that areas that need blood flow too. This is very profound. Just I haven't even got the data yet. It'll come in 3 days, and I'll share that data with you. But this being very profound is that increase in blood flow to those areas means this. You got to understand this. Like anything that an acupuncturist does or a massage therapist does, all they do is increase blood flow and qi. That's all they do. That's their whole function. Well, that's the basis. That is the basis of what they're actually doing. And when you have blood flow and you have qi moving in your body, you have rejuvenation. Blood gives rejuvenation. You give nutrition to that area. You have all the waste products coming out of that area then. So that area starts to heal. So that first indication of that blood flow to me was really exciting for me. What I did yesterday was I went ahead and I went to see my chiropractor. And the chiropractor is Dr. Brad Thompson. He's a DC. He's 57 years old. And he's been a chiropractor for over 32 years. We did a thing, is a testing. It's called a dynamometer. And we did it before and after, and this is an instant test. And I put myself, I am 67 years old, and what happened was that I had an instant 14% improvement in my strength. I took the bracelet off, I did the test, put the bracelet on, instantly it was 14%, and it was really funny because what I did as a test, I switched hands and I put the bracelet on the other hand. And even on my weak hand, the bracelet strength of my strength test improved by 14%, even on my weak hand. So both actually improved. So this was the final crunch I did. The doctors, you got to understand, he's very athletic. He looks like a football player, muscles. You see, my poundage that I pulled was 70 pounds. This doctor pulled 120. Well, actually 110, right? But when he put the bracelet on, bam, it went to 120. And that, for an athletic type of guy, a 9% improvement is huge. Just think of this, folks. The ultra elite athletes in the world, right? When they compete, they're looking like for like a 5% increase or a 2% increase in their function, right? And that knocks seconds off, right? And imagine what our products can help them achieve in getting stronger and getting more agile. And this was just after just a simple test. And this is made by Therapeutics Instruments. So it's an actual diagnostic machine. And also, I did the same test. I was going to do it actually with weigh scales. I said, do you have a weigh scale, doc? He said, yeah, I do. He said, well, listen, why don't we try something a little bit more accurate? And so we use this instrument. And I did the weigh scales with my wife and me. And my wife actually, with one bracelet, had an 11% improvement, which correlates with my 14% improvement here, right? And of course, the weigh scale is not as accurate. And then what I did was, just to handle her in relation to all acupuncture meridian lines, I actually put a bracelet on her ankle, her right ankle, and I put a bracelet on her left wrist. So we're handling all the acupuncture points, meridian lines throughout the whole body. like I said, one bracelet, left wrist, improved 11% with her in pushing strength. And the two bracelets improved 53%. And also, when I did the thermal imaging, I did the one bracelet and I did the bracelet on my ankle too. So we'll have a test of that. So that's kind of exciting to hear about that. My test, I only did one bracelet for me, and mine improved on the weight scale 58%. So that was pretty good. But that, of course, that's just at home. And if you want to do that test at home, it's really simple. You just put a weight scale in front of you, when you're sitting down, so you're not using your weight of your body to force down on it. And then you press down on the weight scale and you do it before and after and just check it for, it's actually a nice, thing you can do at home. Remember I was telling you about the 5G and how it affects the body, right? Well, according to Dr. Mikovic, she's a PhD, 2G, 3G, 5G, all can cause, what happens is iron can leave the hemoglobin in your bloodstream, right? So it actually leaves and enters your bloodstream and is captured by a protein called ferritin. Ferritin picks up the iron and it causes a cytokinic cascade. What is cytokine is this, is a signaling molecule. It could be inflammatory or or non-inflammatory. And it's a signaling molecule that your cell sends out in relation to some kind of danger in the environment, right? So I'll give you an example of how important this is, because sometimes, when they're doing drug testing and stuff like that, there is being found in some tests when they apply these drugs to people, that it can actually cause a cytokine cascade to such a degree in 90 minutes that they can have multiple organ failures. This is how powerful the cytokine cascade is, right? So Dr. Judy McCovey says that 5G, 3G, and all these EMF frequencies, they actually cause iron to be dispelled out of the hemoglobin, which carries oxygen into the blood. So imagine that eventual cascade of continual being bombarded with that. Okay, so basically, in relation to how this Aalere bracelet works with the rest of the products, right? You have the youth crystals, which is our basic go-to product. Everybody should be on at least one per day, 1 tea per day, right? You put in warm water and activates the beautiful frequencies we have in there. And we have actually anti-EMF, anti-RF in the crystals also, right? But the two provide a synergy together that I'm finding is astounding. So I'm very, very happy to share that if we combine the gels with the crystals and plus their Aalere bracelet, we have a trifecta. We have something that will help improve, I think it'll help to improve the immune system. Of course, it'll help strengthen the body. And you got to remember, folks, this is cumulative. So if you're compliant every day and take these products every single day, and good boys and girls, you will come gradiently, slowly increasing your health as you progress, right? Just like it took you years to get to a position of ill health, for example, it'll take you at least 1 month for every year that your body has been down with that particular thing going awry with you. It'll take at least 1 month of this improvement with these frequencies in order to help the body. And this is done lightly. It is not done like a sledgehammer. And it's also done with the synergy of using Mother Nature, because our youth crystals have their own innate frequencies that our frequencies combined with that, right? I'd rather wear a nice bracelet and drink a tea. And there's other ways that we can handle it by good nutrition. And good nutrition has to be in, because if you want to amplify our results with salivation, please adhere to a good lifestyle. Exercise, very important. Good, lots of water, half your body weight in water, and so on and so forth. So that will actually even expedite your results. So I really want to thank you for being here today, and thank you for listening. And please share this video with those people that you love and care for. And everybody, God bless.